Hello everyone and welcome to episode 16 of the Irish Whip podcast. I'm your host Ben, accompanied as always by my co-host Darren.
Yeah.
This week is our Extreme Rules prediction show. And let's start off with some news. There hasn't been much news this week. Leading with Jimmy Snuka's trial. This week he has been undergoing mental competency tests.
Yeah.
The defense is alleging that he has brain damage and dementia from all the concussions and head trauma that he suffered over, wrestling for 40 years, I want to say. And the prosecution is like, bollocks, mate. I don't really know. I don't know. If they can prove that he has had head trauma and he isn't fit to stand trial, then he isn't fit to stand trial, and justice may never be done in the case.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're you can't really put someone who doesn't understand what they've done in jail.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. I think the official ruling on whether or not he's going to be ruled competent enough to stand trial should be coming, I think, second or third week of June.
Yeah. Mid June.
I want to say the 21st, but I could be wrong. This case is obviously ongoing, and we'll cover it as best we can as more stuff comes to light.
Yeah.
Other news, TNA have been pissing off their production crew by not paying them.
Again.
As is tradition.
Yeah. I heard word as well that next filming session could be an entirely new production crew.
Yeah. Because the other one walked.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people were behind from their last taping.
Yeah.
From January.
Yeah, since January no one's been paid.
Some people have been paid, some have been partially paid, and some have not been paid at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a recurring theme in TNA of people being unhappy because they haven't been paid on time.
Yep.
Or not paid at all, or been given rubber checks. Hasn't been any news about the sale of the company.
No, there's been nothing really.
I mean, I would have thought there'd be something by now, but oh no! Apparently, what's his name? Mike Johnson from, I think he's from PWI Insider was offered, legitimately. He said they offered him a stake in the company, and as far as I know, he said fuck off.
Meltzer's going to be offered stake next.
They're going to sell this thing to Brian and Vinny.
What will they rant about after that?
Yeah, they won't be able to rant about Dixie anymore. Be the end of an era.
Yeah.
So I guess that's about it for news.
Yeah.
There hasn't really been any big stories this week.
No.
Hasn't been news on any more releases, as far as I know.
There's supposed to be some releases after Extreme Rules.
Yeah, there's been speculation about that. Wouldn't surprise
There was
me.
word that Lillian Garcia might have been fired.
Yeah, it's been a weird story with her.
But she wasn't.
People were reporting she was fired, and she was like, no, dude, I'm not fired. They're like,
I'm
no.
just really bad at my job.
It's like, no, you're definitely fired. And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm going to be there on Monday. And she was there Monday, so I don't know.
Yeah.
She's 50 and Vince hates old people.
Yeah.
So
even himself.
Especially himself. He's wanted to write off the Vince McMahon character he's been trying to kill off his character for years.
Since Chris Benoit.
Yeah, every time he tries to write himself off TV, he eventually ends up coming back.
Yeah. Do you feel like Vince McMahon, before he dies, will record 3 years of backstage vignettes, so when he dies, he's still there?
Just a tape recording of him shouting at Michael Cole. just so Cole can remember
Yeah,
him by.
like they get an animatronic basically of Vince, and he records all of the like phonetically how words sound, and they make like a little keyboard out of it, so he'll always be there.
So theoretically, Stephen Hawking could have Vince McMahon as his voice.
Yeah,
That'd be amazing. The universe is expanding, damn it. I'm convinced they have like a storyline for after Vince dies.
oh yeah, definitely.
They've worked something out.
Yeah, I'm sure that like when Vince is gone, he's already figured out like a storyline to make money off of it.
That'll go on for 5 months and
Yeah.
make no sense.
Yeah, the anonymous Raw GM will appear again.
So anyway, into our Extreme Rules preview show.
We'll give her like a rundown of like what's been happening with everything.
Yep. And how what the storylines were on Raw and what our prediction for the matches are. So pre-show, we got Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin in, I believe, a no DQ match. They haven't been on TV.
Nope.
I don't think we've seen them since Payback.
No,
Not
I
on
haven't anyway.
Maybe they were on like one episode of Raw, but they weren't on this week.
Could have been mostly SmackDown.
I think
I don't know because I don't watch SmackDown.
as far as I know, they have been on SmackDown.
Yeah. So this could just be a SmackDown feud. Yeah, no one cares.
No, it doesn't matter who wins.
Flip a coin.
Yep. I think Ziggler won the last one, so Corbin's winning this one.
Yeah, probably.
Welcome to the 50-50 club.
Yeah.
New Day versus the Vaudevillains for the WWE Tag Team titles.
Yeah. So what happened was, since Enzo and Cass are out of the tag picture for the time being, the Vaudevillains were just given the title shot.
Yes, they were originally scheduled to win that match, as far as I know. So we were always going to get the New Day versus the Vaudevillains. There hasn't really been like this. This isn't much of a like the New Day are winning this.
I mean, they should.
Like, if the New Day don't win this, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because the Vaudevillains are kind of joke.
Yeah.
They're listen. I like the gimmick, but it's not. It's an indie gimmick. If you know what I mean. It's not going to get over with the mainstream audience.
Yeah. We did get a few great segments with New Day though. Yeah. Like this week's the Go Home show.
The big segment we got was New Day's time machine.
Yeah.
And it was basically a refrigerator box, which Big E pointed out.
Yeah.
And Xavier's like,
which were keyboards sellotaped to the front.
Yeah, I have the exact same keyboard. It's the Logitech K120.
Sellotaped to the front.
Yep.
But I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was
the
funny.
Whole segment. Like when they go into the time machine and they come out and it's 2009 and Kofi Kingston comes out speaking in his Jamaican accent.
The Jamaican sensation has returned.
and they're dragging him back in and he's like, no, 2009 was my best year.
I would have liked them to do go a bit longer and do one for like each of them.
Yeah, like Xavier Woods comes out in his roller derby gimmick and Big E comes out in his 5 gimmick with AJ Lee. Ziggler appears in the fridge somehow and comes out as well.
Yeah. Eventually they come out in the ye oldie times.
Yeah.
Where it's all black and white and they're wearing like mustaches, goatees. And the Vaudevillains jump them from behind and just lay them out.
One thing I'll say I like is when they do the black and white gimmick, they slow the frames.
Yeah,
it goes
like
down to like
a stutter.
Yeah, it goes down to like 20 frames.
Yeah.
Because WWE now is like 60 frames per second. I don't know if you've noticed it.
It's sometimes I see it at 60, sometimes I see it at 30.
The greater extent of the time, it's 60 frames now, from what I've seen with like most things. It's hard to notice it because there's nothing really
Yeah, well, like you can tell, I can tell the difference.
Yeah, you can tell the difference, but like there's not some parts you'll notice it, but like I think it's funny that when they do a ye olde time, they drop down to like 20 frames per second.
Yeah, there's a noticeable like frame stuttering.
Yeah,
and yeah, I don't. I can't imagine vaudevillains win this.
no, they shouldn't.
Like New Day, like they've been bringing up that New Day have held the titles for like 260, 70 days, however long, since August, since SummerSlam anyway. However long that is.
Yeah.
Well over 200 days at this stage. Could be closing in on like the record.
Yeah.
Because I believe the record for these titles is like 330 something days.
Yeah.
And the record for the old WWE titles was like 440 days or whatever with Demolition. Which, I mean, conceivably they could go to.
They've been the biggest tag team WWE've had in years.
Yep. Sell a lot of merch.
A lot of people like them.
Yep. Over with
everyone.
Yeah. Over with kids, over with smarks. That's your audience.
Yeah.
Over with the people who buy the t-shirts.
Yeah.
New Day should win. Eventually, I could see them losing to Enzo and Gas.
Yeah.
Maybe in Brooklyn at like SummerSlam.
Probably.
But also, on the other hand, I could just see them keeping the belts on the New Day for a while.
Yeah.
Or maybe they transition the club into like a proper tag team and they end up beating the New Day.
I say New Day, if anything, should probably drop the titles to a tag team coming from NXT.
Yeah.
Like Enzo and Cass or Revival or American Alpha. One of those.
Like Enzo and Cass, for like because they were brought up in the WWE developmental. As far as I know, they have
no prior experience,
virtually zero experience outside of that. Whereas like the club, they've wrestled all over the world. Dash and Dawson, I don't know. I think they've wrestled outside of NXT.
I'm not sure.
I'd have to look it up. I actually don't know.
A lot of the NXT tag teams seem to be made just to be tag teams. If you get me, they're not two random wrestlers put together as a tag team.
Yeah,
they seem to be. They're like a Young Bucks or a Hardy Boys. Or a Dudleys.
They have something in common.
Yeah,
like American Alpha. They're both like they're both former like mat wrestlers. Yeah. Like Chad Gable. Yeah, Chad Gable. He was like in the Olympics, wasn't he? I think he competed in the Olympics. So? And Jason Jordan was like he was like a collegiate level wrestler.
Yeah.
So they both have like a mat wrestling background. Put them together. The Revival both have this old school, kind of like 80s Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, heel tag team, and they work very well together. Blake and Murphy are just geeks who are now broken up, as far as I know. What are the other tag teams in NXT?
Fuck.
Because like there was the Lucha Dragons and they got brought up.
Yeah.
There was Enzo and Cass and they got brought up.
I don't think there's many tag teams nowadays in NXT.
No. There was like the Ascension and like they're up on jobbing out on Superstars to Breeze Ango.
Febreze. Yeah, that's the word we're using.
Fuck your gimmick, WWE. we use our own word.
Yep.
But yeah. Actually, now that we talk it out, there's really only two tag teams there.
Yeah, in NXT.
Two tag teams left. But I guess thinking about it, their tag division was never really that strong.
No.
So yeah. Anyway, New Day win that match.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Kalisto versus Rusev for the US title.
Yeah. So Rusev won this in a won the title shot in a
Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Yeah. last eliminating Zack Ryder. Who I don't think has been seen since.
A big fuck you to the fans.
Yeah. Next week he goes on to lose to Sin Cara via roll-up.
Yeah.
That was just a night for roll-ups that night. And this week, Kalisto had a match against Alberto Del Rio. And during the match, Rusev attacks Sin Cara, who's backstage watching the match on a TV.
Yeah.
And just batters the guy. Just fucking drags him around the arena. Like, picking him up like the Hulk did in Avengers to Loki, and just like fucking smashing him around the place like a rag doll. So Del Rio wins that match, and after the match, Rusev jumps in and just kills Kalisto. Like, he puts him in the most vicious accolade I've ever seen. Like, you don't think a camel clutch can look vicious? Rusev bent this man in half. He fucking crumpled him. Like, they did an angle on SmackDown where Kalisto couldn't appear on SmackDown because he was injured. For a while. I thought that was real. I thought he had snapped this little fucker in half.
I saw Rusev on Twitter calling him cute for being injured.
I don't think there's any way Kalisto retains this.
He shouldn't.
He shouldn't. And I'm going to tell you why. John Cena is coming back on Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And he needs something to do.
And he can't fight Kalisto.
He can't fight Kalisto, who's like a babyface. So he can beat up the evil foreigner on Memorial Day
again
and take back the US title.
Yeah.
To the good old US of A.
From that grubby foreigner.
From that filthy, dirty, gibberish speaking beast of a man. But Rusev is fucking great.
Yeah.
He should, like, he could easily go into the world title picture if they book him right.
Yeah.
Like, by SummerSlam, they could have him in the world title picture if they did it right. But they won't, because they're fools.
Yeah. Rusev will win.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Next up, we have the Usos versus The Club. Gallows and Anderson.
I don't know how easily we could explain this, because we'll have to explain it again with the main event. So we just leave the story for it till the... because it kind of intertwines together. Yeah, fine. We'll leave that till the end. Yeah.
IC title: Miz versus Cesaro versus Zayn versus Owens.
Yeah.
What I'm calling the Battle of the Boys.
The IC title run this month has been the most entertaining part of WWE. Because everyone is great at what they're supposed to do. Yeah. Like, Owens is fantastic with his shit talking levels have like increased this month. I liked on Raw where Shane comes out to so Cesaro and Zayn are supposed to be having a match, which had me marking out already. Yeah. But people could see, if people followed me on Twitter, they could see what happened to me.
Owens and Miz end up like interfering, and we have like a big schmoz.
The Owens on commentary that night was hilarious.
Him versus Miz, like just dressing each other down.
Yeah, and then Owens takes his headset off, and he's like, "You're not even worth my time." And then attacks Miz, throws him into the ring,
and we get like a big DQ. And so Shane McMahon
I looked really hard to find out who actually won that by DQ.
Who won?
Zayn.
Okay.
Zayn was the first one to be hit. Cesaro had the offense on Miz, and then the bell rang, and then Miz hit him. So technically, Zayn won by DQ. Okay, it doesn't matter, but I really wanted to see who won by DQ.
Fair enough.
Something about me really wanted to find out who got hit first.
Shane McMahon comes out and is like, "Okay, we're gonna have ourselves a little tag match here." Zayn and Cesaro, you're one team. Miz and Owens, you're the other.
But originally he said Owens and Miz. It was Stephanie came out originally.
No, Shane came out and made that match, and then Stephanie came out after.
Oh no, you gave the real.
No, I said Cesaro and Zayn were one team. Miz and Owens were the other.
Oh, I thought
they swapped it around.
I thought you said it swapped the way around.
Yeah. But when Owens is told Miz has to be his partner, he's like, no,
He's terrible.
He's the worst one. You don't want to team with him. You don't want to team with the Miz. So then Stephanie comes out and is like, how about we do it a little bit differently and have Cesaro and Miz versus Zayn and Owens. And she basically tells
Owens.
She tells Owens specifically that if you walk out in this match, you don't get the Intercontinental title match on Sunday. And Owens is just enraged by this. So
I marked out at the idea of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens tagging together.
You were right in the end.
Yeah.
We got them as a team.
Yeah, because those two were an amazing tag team. Even in this one, when they
hate each other.
Yeah, when they're hating each other, they were still amazing at it.
I quite like the team of Miz and Cesaro myself.
Because Owens would shout abuse at Zayn over how shitty his moves were, and then Zayn would tag Owens in and be like, you do better. And then Owens would do something and Zayn would goad him into tagging him in, and it'd be like a vicious cycle where they'd shit talk each other from the ring.
While they pummel the Miz.
Yeah. I remember like Cesaro hits Owens with something, an uppercut, and Sami Zayn starts applauding Kevin Owens for taking it.
Who ended up winning? Owens and Zayn ended up winning that match
with like a hell of a kick to Miz.
And like immediately after the match, Owens turns on Zayn and beats the shit out of him, chucks him out of the ring, and then he's like, "Ref, you get in here. You fucking raise my hand. I won this match too. I also won this match, so you will raise my hand, sir."
This entire IC title picture has been amazing. It's easily been the most entertaining thing on WWE this month, I'd say.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. 3 great workers and
The Miz.
And The Miz. Who is the second best on the mic in this feud.
Well, like, Sami Zayn, you must feel bad for The Miz in some way, because Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Owens have all had long histories with each other back in the Indies. So they know how each other work. Like the style each other has, and like they've kind of worked around how each one of them works. Because they've been fighting each other for years now.
Miz has held his own. Like he's competent so long as no one is diving on him, because he fucking never catches anyone. Like that's my biggest criticism of him as a worker. Yeah, never catches anyone. Yeah, fucking useless at it. Apart from that, he's perfectly fine in the ring. Yeah, and is pretty good on the microphone. Not sure how to call this.
I think how I find it is either Zayn or Owens will win. But this is me, because I want them for SummerSlam to have a singles match. Yeah. And it's the only thing I can think of, because like they can't possibly do another fucking 4-way. I mean, they could, but
I think the next pay-per-view is Money in the Bank. Yeah. So, I'm thinking we get at least 2 of these guys are going to be in the Money in the Bank match. Yeah. And I don't think Owens is going to win the Intercontinental title here. I think he's going to win Money in the Bank next month. Yeah. I don't think Zayn is going to win the title here, because he is at his best when he's chasing the title. Yeah.
Not when he has it.
I think like the big payoff would be like SummerSlam maybe. Yeah. Cesaro maybe. Yeah. But I think they'll keep it on the Miz.
Mm.
And like I could be way off, but just my gut says they're keeping it on the Miz.
It depends.
Like
Since there's Money in the Bank on the way, any of these guys could be in the Money in the Bank match.
Mm.
But what I want is maybe Owens winning, leading to a ladder match at Money in the Bank with Cesaro or Zayn. Don't know what the Miz could do, because like Miz, I don't think Miz is like more adequate with a ladder match, and because he's a heel as well, you're not going to have a heel versus heel IC title match. Yeah, especially a ladder match of all things.
Yeah, because Miz would get like his rematch.
Yeah.
So, but I think Miz wins, and we don't get an Intercontinental match at Money in the Bank. We get Miz, or maybe we do on the pre-show, him versus whoever, and we get Cesaro, Zayn, and Owens in the ladder match.
Yeah.
With like Ziggler, Kofi. Well, no, he'll probably be wrestling in the tag match.
Yeah.
Cesaro, Zayn, Owens, Ziggler, Ambrose, Jericho, and maybe like Rollins. And that'll be your Money in the Bank match.
We'll have to see if Rollins even comes back by that point. There's word of Rollins coming back at the start of this month, or not the start of this month, the start of June. So he could be in it. I don't know. Since we don't know anything about Money in the Bank, we'd have to kind of do a lot of guesswork. Yeah,
we're guessing for like the next pay-per-view down the line when we're supposed to be doing our predictions for this show.
Yeah, I'd say the IC title match would probably be one of the best matches of the night.
Oh yeah, I think it'll be the best match of the show.
Is there any gimmick to this match?
Nope, just the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
Well, like, it's technically no DQ because it's Fatal 4-Way. So, but I doubt they'll bring in.
Yeah, this one I don't
weapons.
know. It all depends on Money in the Bank, really.
Yeah,
who would win?
I don't think Miz is winning Money in the Bank, so I think it's likely to stay on him.
Yeah, maybe. But we don't know, because like it could change. Whoever wins won't be in Money in the Bank, but everyone else could be.
I mean, technically they could still be in Money in the Bank, but like the title holder isn't going to win the title and Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
I don't think that's ever been done. Maybe it has. I think maybe someone had like the US and Money in the Bank at one stage. Did Mr. Kennedy have like the US title and Money in the Bank at one stage?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So after that is probably Ben's favorite.
Ambrose and Jericho in the Asylum match. It's going to be either really good or WCW levels of shite.
Yeah, because it's...
And either way, I'll be happy.
It is the first gimmick match that has appeared in WWE in a long, long time. So do you want to explain to people what the Ambrose Asylum match is?
It's a steel cage, and at the top of the steel cage there's weapons that are like suspended above it.
Yeah.
But these aren't like steel chairs. Sure, there's one steel chair up there, but there's also a potted plant.
You mean Mitch?
No, that Mitch is dead. This is El Hijo de Mitch. There's like a straitjacket. There's
a mop bucket and a mop.
Possibly Moppy.
Yeah.
Possibly Mr.
Making his
long-awaited return. We get Mr. Socko. We get Head.
It's all comedy weapons.
Yeah,
for the most part.
We'll get Chavo's like hobby horse Pepe. That's a throwback to WCW right there.
So one thing I want to know about this. Do you since it's a cage match basically, are you still allowed to leave the cage?
I think you can leave the cage, but you don't win if you leave the cage. You must like pin or submit. That's how, like, I'm not sure, but that's how I think they sold it.
I didn't see anything explaining that rule, so I had no idea.
Yeah, because like in the promo, Ambrose said that there would be like no escape.
Yeah. But they always say that in a cage match.
Yeah, but
Same in Hell in a Cell.
yeah, but you don't. If you go outside Hell in a Cell, you don't win.
Yeah.
And I think this might be the same. It's just a cage match, but there's gimmicks on top of the cage that you can use to beat the shit out of your opponent with.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
So the story to this is just that Ambrose and Jericho are destroying each other's stuff.
Yes. The longer this feud goes on, the more I'm liking it. Like when this started, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna like this.
Because Jericho did almost verbatim what he did in his CM Punk feud. Like almost exactly. Like down to Jericho smashing something big on his opponent.
Yeah, bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
wasn't
was replaced with Mitch. Like it was almost verbatim the same catalyst.
Yeah.
And then next week Ambrose destroys Jericho's jacket.
Yeah, I'm liking this. It is really fucking WCW though, isn't it?
It is.
Just like, oh, what can we do? What can we do? We have a cage. What can we do to make a cage cooler?
Yeah.
We'll put weapons on it.
We'll paint it black.
We'll paint it black. There'll be 3 cages. RoboCop will be the special guest referee.
I want to say this match will probably be more violent than we expect it to be.
Probably.
Like, do you remember Jericho's Extreme Rules match against Punk?
I don't think I've ever seen it. I was like a proper street fight though. Yeah.
But like that had more violence in it than I think anyone had expected it to have. Still probably one of my favorite street fights I've seen in a long while.
Weren't they wearing actual street clothes? Yeah.
Jericho, if I remember, Punk came out in like a Misfits t-shirt and jeans.
Like it's not a street fight if you don't show up in street clothes.
Yeah, and it was a really good match. And I say we'll probably get the same for this because like Ambrose is an Extreme Wrestler, formerly an Extreme Wrestler.
Yeah, but they really want to tone him down.
They do, but like, I hope that since seeing the backlash against how shitty his WrestleMania match was, that they might let him do a little bit more.
And it is the Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
Yeah. So like I have a feeling that like this could have a lot more violence in it than we anticipated to. And I'd be happy enough with that.
Yeah. Ambrose should go over.
Yeah.
This is Ambrose's specialty match.
Yeah. But how many times has Undertaker won his specialty?
Oh, about half.
What about Buried Alive?
Half.
He's won a Buried Alive match?
I believe he has. I believe he won one against Austin. Like he's been in like 5 and I think he's lost 3 of them.
Yeah. Like just because it's your specialty match doesn't mean you're winning.
Yeah.
How many times has Matanza, or not Matanza, Will Martes won a casket match?
Once?
None.
Didn't Conan go into a casket?
Yeah, but he wasn't the guy he was fighting.
That's a fair point. It's like Kane and the Inferno matches.
Yeah.
He's always the guy that gets set on fire.
Like
just because
it's your specialty match doesn't mean you're going to win. In fact, it probably means you're going to lose.
Yeah, actually, that is a very WWE thing to do.
Yeah.
Like Foley always lost hardcore matches.
Yeah, it's the same with like if you take out the table, you're the one going through that table.
Yeah, actually. Ambrose should win.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably keep this feud going though, so Jericho will win. It depends on how long Jericho's staying around as well.
I want to say Ambrose wins, and it will probably be maybe like third best match, I'd say, of the show. Yeah,
Ambrose should win. WWE Women's Title match, submission match. Ric Flair banned from ringside match. Charlotte versus Natalya.
I was saying to you that every match should be Ric Flair banned from ringside.
Just keep him from interfering.
Yeah.
The submission match, Flair is banned from ringside. If he turns up, Charlotte forfeits the title.
Yep.
Charlotte's winning.
Yeah. it's always the same. Like when we're talking about people lose their gimmick matches, if you ban a guy from ringside, that guy who whoever he'd be interfering for always wins.
Yeah. Or they'll have Little H as the ref.
Yeah. Screw job part 2.
Yeah, or maybe a ref takes a bump and Little H is the one who runs out or something like that. I don't know. I hope they don't do that. I hope
we get an actual match.
Yeah. Like, Jesus, just Charlotte, have Charlotte poke Natty in like the eye or something and then just like knock her over and put her in the figure 4.
Yeah.
Just, she can cheat to win, like, but...
Don't have it an interference match again.
Yeah.
Like, that's how all of her pay-per-view matches have ended.
Pay-per-view. Just her pay-per-view. No, it's all her matches full stop. It's getting stale.
Yeah. It was stale the second time it happened.
See, like, before I was willing to defend it a bit because it is a way of getting heat. But, like, I know for you it's the wrong kind of heat. You just want to turn off your TV after seeing it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think
like a screwy finish, I've got no problem with. But it's when the screwy finish happens more than once.
When they do the screwy finish in every match.
Yeah,
it's like
how many distraction roll-ups were last week?
Oh, this week wasn't too bad, but the week before I counted. I think it was up to like 5.
Yeah.
And
there were 4 matches.
No, there were 2 roll-ups in the elimination match.
Yeah.
And I went to the bathroom and I came back and I missed the other 2. So it was just Roman and AJ left. So there could have been 2 more, for all I know.
Yeah. Someone's got to win. I swear to God. I swear to God if it's another screwy finish.
Yeah, I don't want screw finish.
I want a definitive champion.
Yeah, Charlotte needs to stand on her own 2 feet.
Yeah.
This match should be fine. Should be fine to good. They've had good matches in the past. Their payback match was grand, apart from the finish. A little bit rehearsed at some points, but still good. I'm probably going to enjoy this match, but because I like submission matches.
Oh yeah, so do I. I love submission wrestlers.
We don't see it enough. Like
no, because there's not many submission wrestlers in WWE right now.
Yeah, and they don't like doing the thing where they have main event guys tap out.
Yeah, like the list we have here of wrestlers, none of them are submission wrestlers. Well, Jericho, that's it.
Jericho and Ambrose is actually a good mat wrestler. A surprisingly good mat wrestler.
But I'm talking
he never uses it in WWE because you don't like him doing it.
Yeah, but like no one on Extreme Rules, none of them are extreme or like actually Rusev,
like
I don't know if I'd call Rusev a submission wrestler because he has a submission finisher.
Yeah, well, like AJ has the calf crusher as well. But like
Jericho's the only one who's properly, I think, a submission wrestler out of everyone there, and he's not even the best. Yeah,
like when I think of a submission wrestler, I think of Kurt Angle, who can put you in any move and make you tap out.
A Kurt Angle or a would you count Sting as a submission wrestler?
Not really, no. Like Samoa Joe.
Chris Benoit, I'd probably count as a submission wrestler.
Yeah, him and Angle had the best submission match of all time.
Yeah.
It was at like Backlash in 2001 and it was fucking amazing.
Shawn Michaels, I'd kind of class Shawn Michaels as like a hybrid submission wrestler.
Yeah.
Like they don't do it much anymore.
No, they don't like doing the submission thing.
Yeah.
Dean Malenko. Who else?
Charlie Haas.
The Haas of Pain.
I fucking love that submission. You love that move. I like mark out for that submission because it's so cool. Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie, yeah. Brock could work as a submission wrestler.
Yeah, Brock's a UFC fighter, so obviously he knows submission takedowns. Same with Taker.
Yeah, he did like
Taker knows
and stuff.
Taker is probably like the most effective submission move in wrestling right now, I'd say. The triangle chokehold.
Yeah, the Gogoplata.
Yeah.
What is it they call it though? They don't call it that. They call it something stupid.
It's the same with Brock's. Brock's like submission hold is amazing as well. The
Kimura?
yeah. Because like that shit's impossible to reverse.
Yeah.
I was up one night and I was like, how do you reverse a Kimura lock? And I had to go on YouTube and look up how people would reverse that move, because I've never actually seen someone reversing it.
And basically you don't.
There's one way to reverse it, but it's near impossible if you have a Brock Lesnar on top of underneath you in that submission.
You take your other hand and you jam your thumb into their eye.
What you do apparently is you
knead them in the balls repeatedly.
You move forward or around the wrestler, so your arm isn't behind your back anymore.
Yeah.
Since you got a Brock Lesnar underneath you holding you there, you're not fucking moving.
300-pound rock of a man, just a boulder sitting on top of you.
Yeah.
Intent on snapping your arm out of your shoulder.
And then eating one.
Yes. Then clubbing you to death with it.
What about Roddy Piper?
Piper's more a brawler.
That's got submission moves.
Well, he used the sleeper as a submission, but generally was just like a brawler.
Yeah.
Plenty of wrestlers have integrated
Submissions.
1 or 2 submissions, but in terms of someone who can smoothly put a submission on.
Daniel Bryan.
Bryan, definitely.
Completely forgot about Bryan.
Guys like Bryan, Punk, yeah, actually. Punk, Benoit, Jericho, Angle, Malenko, those kind of guys. Regal. Finley was good at the mat and chain wrestling.
Yeah.
I recently saw a video of him wrestling British Bulldog in 1984 or whenever. Or, no, wait, even before that. And Bulldog wasn't on steroids then. And he's fucking a third of the size he got up to. When you compare him to what he was then, to how fucking huge he got, it is no surprise his heart exploded when he was 38 years old.
Yeah.
And he could move.
I feel real stupid. You know who we completely forgot to mention? Bret Hart.
Brett
and Ric Flair.
Bret and Rick, yeah.
whose two relatives we're talking about in this match.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if you ask Rick, he'll say he doesn't know why anyone uses a figure 4 because he never beat anyone with it.
Yes. He only beat one guy with a crossbody, but he still does it. Yeah,
beat Harley Race for his first world title. Back in I think it was 76.
Yeah.
Something like that. He just kept going for after that. And didn't hit that move again for 30 years. Charlotte's winning. She's going to hold the belt till SummerSlam, and then Sasha will beat her.
Yeah, that's what it should be anyway.
That's where I think it's going.
Yeah, that's what most people, as far as I know, think it should be going anyway.
So on to the main event. Well, technically not the main event. First we're getting the Usos versus Gallows and Anderson.
These two storylines are
intertwined.
Intertwined together, so it's easier to talk about in one go.
So we've got Team Roman versus Team AJ. Roman and his cousins have been real dicks to AJ Styles, to be quite honest. Yeah. So he hasn't done anything wrong.
No. This week he was more justified than any other week.
Yeah.
In what he did.
Yeah. Because Roman called him a liar after, who punched who in the dick?
Yeah. Exactly.
There you go. You're going to punch people in the dick and then make out that you're the good guy. Fuck yourself, mate.
And then, the week after, AJ got bum rushed by the Usos with chairs after he refused to attack Roman Reigns with a chair.
And then when they were beating up his friends, he gets back in and takes out these two men.
Yeah.
2 versus 1.
Yeah.
With a chair. And Roman sees this and attacks AJ from behind.
Yeah.
Raw this week opened with open with AJ and Roman in the ring, cutting promos. Roman calls AJ a liar. Gallows and Anderson come out to back up AJ, and the Usos jump in the ring when AJ's not looking. When AJ turns around, Roman sucker punches him.
Yep. What a hero.
Yeah. So this eventually led to Usos versus Gallows and Anderson, with AJ and Roman in their team's respective corners.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how this went. I think the Usos ended up winning.
Yeah.
And after the match, there was a schmoz. Eventually leads to AJ snapping and beating the shit out of Roman with a chair. Then picking him up and giving him the Styles Clash onto a chair.
As far as I'm concerned, completely justified.
Completely. Like, that's for the dick punch alone.
Yeah.
That's even. That's none of the rest of that stuff. So first we're going to get Usos versus the Club in a tag match. In a tornado tag match, which we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, in years.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
I think the Club should probably win.
Yeah, I think Gallows and Anderson need the win.
Yeah. Especially if they could be interfering in Roman versus AJ. You're going to need the heels. I'm saying that in inverted commas, to look stronger.
Yeah.
When they attack.
Well, Gallows and Anderson are the heels.
Yeah.
Usos are faces. Roman is a tweener and AJ is a face.
Yeah.
/ tweener.
Yeah, like I feel the Club should win because they'll definitely be interfering in the last match, and you're going to need the heels interfering to look more powerful.
Plus, in the Roman versus AJ match, Roman is probably going to win.
Yeah, probably he is going to win.
Yeah, when I say probably, I mean like 99%.
Yeah.
And I don't really know where AJ and the Club go from there.
I'd say the feud continues
to Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank or SummerSlam.
Well,
I say this feud goes on for a while.
With by Money in the Bank, we're gonna have Cena back. Probably gonna have Rollins back. I think we're gonna have Bray back. Randy Orton is looking to be cleared soon as well.
Yeah.
We're going to have a fucking slew of people.
Yeah, we're going to have to see, because, like, could be anything. Like, AJ could go on to anything. Like, it could be the Club versus the family.
They could do the Balor thing.
Yeah.
Where the Club turns on AJ. Could do AJ winning Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how... where like Seth and John Cena and Bray Wyatt end up fitting back into this card.
That's what I'm saying, is like we could have AJ Styles and the Bullet Club versus the Wyatts for a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
like that's the only thing I can think of if like they're not going to be in the title picture. I imagine we will get a rubber match at Money in the Bank between AJ and Roman.
Well, AJ would have to win this then.
Well, it could. I don't know. Like, I feel like we're going to get like one last match at least, one last pay-per-view main event.
You think this could be like there could be interference to the point where they just call the match?
Could be. I don't know. Since so many people are coming back and we've got Money in the Bank, it's very hard to figure out who could win over because of everything that could happen next month.
And it's only like after Money in the Bank, Lesnar's going to be back. Probably for building to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're getting an influx.
Yeah, so it's very hard to tell because like there's going to be a bunch of new people, and which means a bunch of new storylines. And we don't know where any of them fit in. Like, if Seth Rollins comes back this month, he should be in the main title picture. Yeah,
I mean, we have a good inkling of where John Cena's going to go.
Yeah, John Cena isn't going to be main eventing.
No, not for
the
time being.
foreseeable future.
Like, he just goes back to the US title thing.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah, general rumors is that like John Cena is slowly going to weed himself out
Yeah.
of like appearing like every fucking week.
It becomes like a special attraction.
Yeah. Rumors are spreading around that like that's what's supposed to be happening with Cena.
Yeah, I can see that. I think he gets one more like world title run before he quits.
I'd say so.
Like eventually him and Flair are gonna hold the record together for most titles, world title.
World titles held.
Yes, that's the words I'm looking for.
Roman Reigns versus AJ should be good. Is there a gimmick for this match?
It's just Extreme Rules.
So it's a no DQ.
Yep.
Okay.
Just no DQ as far as I know.
Yeah. No, I just wasn't sure because we don't really have anything like gimmicks written next to any of these, but there isn't many gimmicks happening.
Well, I assume everything is like Extreme Rules. But then again, some of the matches are clearly marked as no DQ. Like Ziggler versus Corbin is being advertised as no DQ.
Yeah.
Whereas New Day versus the Vaudevillains is advertised as just for the titles.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's DQ in that.
Yeah, AJ versus Roman should be good. Last one was good. And now with like no DQs should be more interesting.
Yeah. This match maybe I think gets called off in some way. And next pay-per-view at Money in the Bank they do okay, well whoever, the club is banned from ringside and the Usos are banned from ringside, and whoever gets to the top of the ladder gets the belt wins. And that's the end of the feud there.
That's when Finn Balor comes out.
Yeah, will
because he's not technically in the club.
He's not. Yeah. I had this weird conspiracy theory that the club is actually an arm of the Bullet Club. Yeah. And the Bullet Club is in all these organizations, and Balor has been secretly running it from NXT all this time over Skype. Like just calling up Kenny Omega and was like, kick the shit out of that AJ Styles cunt.
Beat the shit out of Michael Elgin.
Make sure you super kick that Mr. Wrestling tree. So yeah, we both think Roman's winning. Yeah. Or there's going to be
a screwy finish.
Yeah. Okay.
Some sort of screwy finish where either AJ can contest that he deserves another rematch, or that Roman can contest, something like that. But I doubt Roman is going to be the one that loses.
Yeah, well, like if Roman loses, he automatically gets his rematch. Yeah. And I don't think they're going to have him lose this early into his title run. Yeah. I think if they have him lose, it'll probably be at SummerSlam. Yeah. But I'm saying that for like every match.
SummerSlam is the definitive thing right now.
Yeah, SummerSlam is the second biggest show. They say it's the second biggest show. I think Royal Rumble is the second biggest show. We'll agree to disagree.
I get more excited for SummerSlam than I do Royal Rumble at times.
Well, the last couple of Royal Rumbles have been shit shows.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Meanwhile, last SummerSlam we got Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar in one of the best Hell in a Cell matches in a long while.
No, that was a Hell in a Cell.
Was that what they? SummerSlam was when Undertaker interfered.
No, that was Battleground. So SummerSlam was where they did the Undertaker tapping out and the ref doesn't see it angle.
Oh, yeah, that was still a really good match though.
It was great. Yeah. I didn't like the finish of that match, but I really liked the match. Everything else. Yeah. Like the start where Undertaker is getting in the ring and Lesnar just fucking wallops him and doesn't let him get in the ring and take off his gear. We also got that Cena Seth Rollins match. That was awesome. Yeah. Apart from the finish.
SummerSlam gets a lot of great matches, but Royal Rumble has more wild cards happening.
Royal Rumble it works for the casual audience as well because everyone can follow it. Yeah. And like you have the nostalgia acts coming in. Yeah. Or like the comedy geek acts, like Santino. Yeah.
Oh man, do you remember when Santino nearly won the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Everyone got behind the idea.
He nearly won the Rumble. He nearly won like Elimination Chamber as well. Should have been world champion.
And everyone got in. Everyone was totally behind him at that point.
Yeah, SummerSlam. Like Money in the Bank is getting big as a pay-per-view. Like that's an important one.
Yeah.
Like the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's basically a title.
Yeah.
That you can't lose. Apart from Mr. Kennedy. But yeah. Was there anything we missed on Raw? There was Primo and Epico.
Yeah, Primo and Epico made their new debut
against honest to God jobbers.
Yeah.
It was weird. I got really excited because I saw jobbers. I like saying it out loud.
It's been a while since there's been a proper jobber match.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, they have legit jobbers. They brought in legit jobbers for this. And I'm not talking about Primo and Epico.
Like hometown heroes.
How the fuck did they not get future endeavored?
Like Takahata from Team 4 Star said it best, where he said, just remember that like if you're a wrestler, there's always a worse gimmick, and Primo and Epico have that gimmick.
Yeah. They're the shining stars from the shining star of the Caribbean.
Yep, they've turned from Mexican to Caribbean.
Yeah. They have their finisher is called the Shining Star.
Yeah.
And their entrance music is called the Shining Star.
Jesus. How long do you think until they start jobbing? Monday?
I genuinely thought that the Goldust R-Truth thing had been a big setup just to feed them to the Shining Stars.
We didn't talk about that.
Oh, we'll get to that. The most amazing. Let's just get to it now. Fuck the Shining Stars.
Well, before that, we'll just say Cass has had a singles run this month.
Yep.
Decent enough singles run.
He's a little bit...
No matches, really.
No.
But he's not really a singles wrestler.
No, he's been a tag wrestler for basically his whole career.
Yeah.
Well, Enzo got injured early on in NXT.
What a lot of people are saying is that it's very reminiscent of the NXT run, because Enzo broke his leg in NXT, and that led to Cass doing a singles run. But his singles run, he used more to hype up the return of Enzo.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what he's doing now as well. Is he's building himself up so that when Enzo comes back, there'll be a bigger deal.
He said in an interview Enzo's going to be back soon.
Yeah.
So maybe after Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
They end up feuding with like the Dudleys.
Again, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what they were set up to do.
Yeah. And I have no problem with that. It's
Cass.
been good. Cass, I've been into Cass. I know a lot of people haven't been, but I've been really into him.
I don't know, I think there's something there with him. He, big guy. He can talk well, but like you can see without Enzo there with him, he's not as confident. When he has Enzo like in the ring with him, he's...
Well, like when you've got Enzo there, you can bounce jokes off each other.
Yeah.
But Enzo's got Cass right now has to rely on himself as the one joke. Guy.
Like he's doing fine, but he is better when he's with Enzo.
Yeah. Right now, yeah, basically.
In the ring, hasn't done
much. It's been a lot of squash matches for the most part, or no matches at all.
Yeah.
He had a match against Jericho, which was interfered by Ambrose, and all Cass really did was he manhandled Jericho outside the ring and threw him back in, and that was it.
Yeah, he looked like a fucking monster when he did that.
Fucking, if I was the people in the crowd, you know, where he pushed Jericho against the barricade and started screaming at Jericho, I would have been terrified to be one of the people behind.
Because he looked like he legit snapped there. It's like, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Yeah. And then he had a match against Devon.
Yeah.
Which was just a quick squash.
Yeah, beat him with like the what's it called? The East River Crossing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a big sidewalk slam, isn't it?
It's a sidewalk slam done.
Well, it's kind of like a spin out.
Yeah, a spin out sidewalk slam kind of move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been into it. He hasn't done much, but like, it's probably just because he's holding off for Enzo to come back.
Well, he wasn't brought up to be a singles guy. He was brought up as part of an act.
Yeah.
With the idea that he'd eventually be a singles guy because he's big and he's muscly and Vince McMahon is running the show. And he can talk fairly well. Like, he's not the best. I don't know, there's some, he could be great. But he just needs to get, like, some confidence. Just be able to stand out there without Enzo. And if he's not, and in the future you want to make him a single star, you move Enzo to like a managerial position. Because like 90% of Enzo's gimmick is talking.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's a great hype man. And
like, all I need is Enzo doing his weird run around the ring and
Yeah.
I'll be hyped for the match.
And like in the ring, a good 80% of what Enzo does is get beat down.
Yeah.
And then make the hot tag to Cass.
Yeah.
And then Cass picks him up and throws him at the other people.
Yeah.
Not to say that he's bad. Like, he's very fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
But, and they complement each other really well. I know we say this, like, every time we bring it up, that they complement each other really well. But if you build up Cass better in the ring, move Enzo to, like, his mouthpiece, I think you might have something.
Yeah. And so it brings us to our favourite gimmick of the month.
This is our generation's mega powers. The Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage.
But with more betrayal and heartbreak.
The love and appreciation that these two men share for each other in a completely heterosexual way. It's beautiful to watch. Of course, talking about Fandango and Tyler Breeze.
It's besides the IC title, it's been one of the most entertaining things, I think.
I find it very entertaining.
Like, there's no substance to it, but it's entertaining as hell to watch. Basically, it's just R-Truth and Goldust bigging up the new guys.
Yeah.
Giving the new guys some wins against some of the old-time guys.
This story has been going on since fucking Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
This has been going on for 5 months. Let's just stop, everyone. Just think about that. This is the longest storyline WWE have had go on for years. Possibly since the 80s. It's amazing.
So basically, Goldust, at the start, we'll start from like the start of this month. Goldust really wants R-Truth as his tag partner.
Yes.
Like, really wants him as his tag partner. But R-Truth really wants Tyler Breeze.
So, originally Goldust wanted R-Truth as his partner, and R-Truth was having none of it.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where R-Truth eventually lost his temper a bit and told Goldust to go away. And Goldust kind of started tearing up and ran off. And R-Truth felt bad about it.
Yeah.
So then R-Truth's like, I'm sorry, let's be partners. And Goldust's like, no, I don't want to be partners anymore. So R-Truth's like, come on, man. Come on. Let's be partners. And eventually, somewhere down the line, it swapped back again. And Goldust wanted to be partners, and R-Truth didn't want to be partners anymore. And eventually, they bring in like Tyler Breeze and Fandango.
Fandango is with Goldust and Tyler. Yeah.
Fandango was with Goldust, and Tyler Breeze was with R-Truth. And these two men were pawns in this game of chess that Goldust and R-Truth were playing. And this led to them becoming enraged at how they were being used and eventually turning on Goldust and R-Truth and beating them down and forming their own team of Febreze on a SmackDown.
In the most heartbreaking segment ever.
That was beautiful. They have a tag match and eventually they just turn on him and beat him down, and they're just like stomping the hell out of R-Truth. And Goldust, who's been beaten up, crawls over on his hands and knees and just lays across R-Truth to protect him.
Oh, I had a tear in my eye.
Yeah.
We watched that before we recorded the Lucha Underground video or like a podcast last week.
It was emotional.
And then they had their first match this week and lost.
Yes, of course.
But
After R-Truth accidentally kicked Goldust in the head while aiming for Tyler Breeze.
But they had a backstage segment where R-Truth, where Goldust is really upset that they lost, and R-Truth tells him, "No, don't worry about it. This is only our first match together. We'll have hundreds of matches later on.
We can't break up now, Goldust.
Yeah.
The WWE wants the Golden Truth." The fans in the arena went fucking mental when he said this.
It's the biggest bromance since Curtis Axel and Ryback.
It is, yeah.
It's great.
What a show. What a show.
Because it's just four guys who aren't being used, who have found something for themselves.
Do you think the ultimate goal is for them to form a 4-man team and it's them versus the Social Outcasts?
I was hoping you'd say Stardust gets jealous of R-Truth.
Well, Adam Rose is out, so we got a new spot open in the Social Outcasts. It's amazing. Truly amazing. Story of a generation. Like this, I really hope this goes on till fucking WrestleMania of next year.
It needs to go on for a while.
This goes on forever
because it's been so entertaining to watch.
I think that about does it for Raw and Extreme Rules. Next episode will be our review of Extreme Rules. You can follow us on Twitter at Irish Whipcast. Check out our YouTube channel, Irish Whip Podcast, and our Facebook, Irish Whip Podcast. Down the line, what have we got? We've got Takeover.
Yeah.
We've got Lucha Underground.
And Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that's about it. See you in the next episode.